Planet of the Apes was an unexpected blockbuster in 1968. Based on the novel by Pierre Boulle, it set new standards for makeup and visual effects and became an instant classic and pop culture sensation. Making a sequel was a foregone conclusion. But Planet of the Apes was destined to become synonymous not with the 1960s but with the 1970s. Let's take a look at Planet of the Apes in the 1970s.
Initiate sequence. Retrotron Entertainment presents
That 70s Nerd. I explore the hidden depths of 1970s pop culture, from movies and television to books, comics and magazines, music, toys, and technology. Discover forgotten classics and hidden gems you will not find anywhere else with That 70s Nerd. The 1970s was the decade of the Planet of the Apes, with the films and television series captivating audiences around the world. However, it was not just the on-screen adventures of the apes and humans that captured the public's imagination, but also the vast array of merchandise that allowed fans to immerse themselves in this fascinating universe. From action figures to comic books and lunchboxes, and even a successful magazine, Planet of the Apes was a phenomenon that defined the decade and left an indelible mark on popular culture. Beneath the Planet of the Apes, released in 1970, is the second installment in the Planet of the Apes franchise. Development was long and difficult, but producer Arthur Jacobs succeeded in mounting a worthy successor to the 1968 original. The film, directed by Ted Post, continues the storyline from the first movie. The plot revolves around Brent, played by James Franciscus, an astronaut who travels through a time warp to the ape-ruled world that Charlton Heston's character Taylor discovered in the previous film. On his journey, Brent encounters Nova, played by Linda Harrison, who was a key character in the first film. He also discovers a group of mutated humans who worship a nuclear bomb in the ruins of New York City. The film climaxes with a battle between the apes and mutants, which ends in a nuclear explosion. The film was produced by Applejack Productions and 20th Century Fox. Post was chosen to direct the sequel after Franklin J. Schaffner, the director of the first film, turned down the offer. The screenplay was written by Paul Dane. The movie was filmed in California and Arizona with a budget of $2.5 million, considerably lower than the budget for the first film. Beneath the Planet of the Apes was released on May 26, 1970, and was a commercial success, grossing over $19 million at the box office. However, it received mixed reviews from critics. Some praised the film's dark plot and violent action sequences, while others criticized its trippy storyline and scant character development. Despite the mixed reception, the film's success at the box office greenlit the continuation of the franchise. Paul Dane took over creative development, crafting a sort of Apes Bible, smoothing out continuity and world-building issues and outlining a trilogy of films that would provide the series with a continuation, prequel, and conclusion. Escape from the Planet of the Apes, released in 1971, is the third installment in the original Planet of the Apes film franchise. The film, directed by Don Taylor, takes a different approach from its predecessors by shifting the setting from the ape-ruled world to 1970s Earth. The plot follows Cornelius, played by Roddy McDowall, Zira, portrayed by Kim Hunter, and their companion, Dr. Milo, portrayed by Sal Mineo, who time travel to 1970s Los Angeles. The three apes are initially welcomed by human society, but face hostility when the future history of Earth is revealed. The film explores themes of fear, prejudiced, and the struggle for survival, and provides an ending just as bleak and shocking as the original, while conveniently leaving the door open for a sequel, already outlined by Dane. Production for Escape from the Planet of the Apes was handled again by Applejack Productions and 20th Century Fox. The film was shot primarily in Los Angeles with a budget of about $2 million. Escape from the Planet of the Apes was released on May 21, 1971, and received positive reviews from critics who praised the film's storyline, performances, and social commentary. It was also a commercial success, grossing over $12 million at the box office. Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, released in 1972, is the fourth installment in the original Planet of the Apes film series. The film, directed by J. Lee Thompson, takes place in a dystopian future where apes have become slaves to humans. The story follows Caesar, played by Roddy McDowall, the son of Cornelius and Zira, who leads a rebellion against the oppressive human society. The film explores themes of oppression, revolution, and the struggle for freedom. The film was shot primarily in Los Angeles with a budget of $1.7 million. Conquest of the Planet of the Apes was released on June 30th, 1972, and received mixed reviews from critics. Some praised the film's storyline and performances, while others criticized its violence and bleak message. The film's original ending was altered, disturbing Paul Dane's carefully structured trilogy outline, a decision that would have ramifications going forward. The original ending has since been restored on home video, which only exacerbates the continuity issues. Conquest was a moderate commercial success, grossing over $9 million at the box office. The film's performance led to the production of the fifth and final installment in the original series. Battle for the Planet of the Apes, released in 1973, is the fifth and final installment in the original Planet of the Apes film franchise. The film, again directed by J. Lee Thompson, takes place 20 years after the events of Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and follows Caesar, played by Roddy McDowall, as he attempts to establish a peaceful society for both apes and humans. The story explores themes of leadership, conflict resolution, and the struggle to maintain peace in a world divided by fear and mistrust. Paul Dane's original outline was deemed to be too dark and large-scale for the last film, since a primetime television series was already being planned, and his script treatment was reworked by husband and wife writing team John William Corrington and Joyce Hooper Corrington. The final draft was completely rewritten by Dane, retaining many of the innovations of the Corrington script, but realigning the story as much as possible with Dane's original trilogy outline, as well as rewriting most of the dialogue and changing the last scene. However, the film still suffered from continuity errors that confused and displeased fans of the series. The film was shot primarily in California with a reduced budget of $1.7 million. Battle for the Planet of the Apes was released on June 15, 1973, and received lukewarm and negative reviews from critics. Some appreciated the film's message and performances, while others criticized its low budget and long action sequences, grossing only $8 million at the box office. The film's performance marked the end of the original Planet of the Apes film series, which would later be rebooted in the 21st century. The Planet of the Apes TV series, which aired from 1974 to 1975, is a live-action adaptation of the film series. The show, produced by 20th Century Fox Television, takes place in a world where apes have taken over the Earth and follows two astronauts, Alan Verdon, played by Ron Harper, who also appeared on Land of the Lost, and Peter Burke, portrayed by James Naughton, better known for his role as Michael Bauer on Who's the Boss, as they attempt to survive in the ape-ruled society. The series also features Roddy McDowall in a new role, Galen, a chimpanzee who befriends the astronauts and assists them in their journey. Discussions for a Planet of the Apes TV series were begun as early as 1971 by producer Arthur P. Jacobs. The idea was delayed until after the completion of Battle for the Planet of the Apes in early 1973 due to the success of the movies. Unfortunately, Jacobs passed away soon after the premiere of Battle, leading to his production company, Jack Productions, selling all Planet of the Apes rights to 20th Century Fox. In September 1973, television rights for the first 3 Planet of the Apes movies were sold to CBS, where they were broadcast successfully. The high viewership of these movie broadcasts led CBS to favor a Planet of the Apes TV series over other science fiction proposals. Consequently, Fox and CBS continued Jacobs' plans for a series the following year. CBS ordered 14 episodes of Planet of the Apes, which were filmed primarily at Malibu Creek State Park. The budget for each episode was around $250,000. Initially scheduled to air during CBS's Tuesday night family hour, the first regular episode was broadcast on Friday, September 13, 1974 from 8 to 9 p.m. The series continued in this time slot until December 27, 1974. The 14th and final episode was not aired due to premature cancellation caused by poor ratings, but was later released on DVD and Blu-ray. Return to the Planet of the Apes, released in 1975, was an American animated TV series. Drawing from Pierre Boulle's 1963 novel, the series portrayed a more technologically advanced ape society, featuring elements such as automobiles, helicopters, telephones, and television. This adaptation more closely aligned with Boulle's original work and early concepts for the first Apes film. Return to the Planet of the Apes was produced by DePatie Freeling Enterprises and 20th Century Fox Television. The series follows the adventures of 3 astronauts, Bill Hudson, Jeff Allen, and Judy Franklin, after they travel in time to the ape-ruled future Earth. The series was created by David H. DePatie and Fritz Freeling. The show is notable for including Henry Corden as the voice of General Urko. Corden sometimes provided the voice of Fred Flintstone and would go on to take over the role entirely. The voice is unmistakable. The series consisted of 13 episodes which aired on NBC. Return to the Planet of the Apes was a mixed bag, featuring complex world building and character development for an animated series of its time, but suffering from slow pacing and low production values. It was cancelled after 1 season. After publishing adaptations of the first 2 Apes films, Marvel Comics published the Planet of the Apes magazine from 1974 to 1977. This black and white publication featured longer stories and more in-depth explorations of the Planet of the Apes universe that created their own mythos separate from the original novel, film, and TV projects. The magazine allowed creators to delve deeper into the lore of the franchise through articles and comics, providing fans with a more comprehensive understanding of the world and its characters. The Planet of the Apes magazine featured a mix of film adaptations and original stories, all beautifully illustrated by renowned comic book artists such as Mike Ploog, who also worked on Ralph Bakshi's Wizards and Lord of the Rings, and writers such as Doug Mensch, creator of Werewolf by Night and Moon Knight, not to mention the striking cover illustrations. The magazine was a hit among fans, succeeding even after both television series were cancelled. Marvel's Planet of the Apes magazine remains a highly sought-after collectible among Apes fans. Fans of the franchise could also immerse themselves in the world of Planet of the Apes through various products, from costumes, toys, and games, to lunchboxes, and even a Viewmaster set. One of the most notable companies involved in the merchandising of the Planet of the Apes franchise was the Mego Corporation. Planet of the Apes was Mego's first attempt at making toys based on a movie property, a move that would turn out to be very successful for them in the 1970s. In 1974, they unveiled their Planet of the Apes line at Toy Fair to a very positive response from retailers. 5 figures based on characters from the original film: Cornelius, Zira, Dr. Zaius, the Soldier Ape, and the Astronaut, along with a treehouse and village playset and a remote control horse, the Action Stallion. Planet of the Apes was a big success for Mego and helped make 1974 Mego's most successful year to date. In both 1974 and 1975, Mego Apes made the list of top 10 best-selling toys. The Apes phenomenon showed no signs of slowing down. To align with the live-action TV show, Mego developed and released a second series of figures consisting of Galen, Verdun, Burke, General Urko, and General Ursus. 1975 also brought more playsets and accessories such as the Forbidden Zone Trap, the Fortress, the Catapult and Wagon, and the Jail. I have fond memories of the Mego Apes toys, and their success continued up until the first wave of Star Wars toys appeared in 1978. I vividly remember playing with the parachute action figure. These items further cemented the franchise's place in popular culture and allowed fans to engage in the world of Planet of the Apes in various ways. Repackaging the films and live-action television series as TV movies and marathons sprawling over 2 to 4 weeks helped keep the franchise alive in popular culture, and paved the way for later reboots, such as the 2001 Tim Burton film and the recent successful revival, comprised of 4 films. Planet of the Apes is a rare exception in sci-fi franchises. It succeeded because of its thought-provoking storylines, memorable characters, and a richly imagined universe. The success of the original franchise paved the way for the success of the recent series, which borrows many elements and themes from the original. For me, 1970s Planet of the Apes will always be the best Planet of the Apes. Help support this podcast and independent publishing by becoming a Patreon supporter, or by leaving a tip at Buy Me a Coffee. Visit retrotron-entertainment.com for more information. Links in the description below.